I'm Dario Acconci and I'm Managing Director of Oxford in Singapore. Our firm is a corporate services provider, so we do assist European companies that invest into Asia on the setting up of the company and maintenance, compliance, accounting and payroll. We have offices in China, and 5 offices specifically, and in Hong Kong as well.
I'm Fabio Stella, Senior Associate at Oxford, based in Shanghai, and overseeing business from that regional headquarters for our offices in Beijing, Shenzhen, Guangzhou and Suzhou, and assisting foreign companies in doing business with China.
Yeah, I would say the typical issue would be proper programming. So understanding what it takes to venture into China and to structure your investment in a safe and appropriate way is the big hurdle that most of the investors have. And it's because it's not only a question of preparing yourself from a legal point of view, having the right lawyers or the right advisors and telling you what are the corporate laws involved and so on and so forth. It's more a practical aspect. So in order to address and to invest in a sound and safe way in China, you need to be ready to put the best people that you have in your company. So you need to resource yourself with the best assets. You need to ensure that you control your venture in China. So overall, it's a question of understanding that you are not investing, let's say, from Germany to Holland, to the Netherlands, which is more or less an environment which you might know from several points of views. China is a completely different environment that requires a lot of not only financial investment, but human and know-how investment. Well, again, is getting back to the drawing board. So I think it's very important at that stage for investors and companies to set out the right structure, which might entail also understanding if you want to have a holding operational jurisdiction or presence somewhere else in Asia. So Singapore will be a perfect solution to cover all the markets. So one is structuring, planning, and the other is understanding if you have the right people. So understanding who are the managers that have a total understanding of the commercial side, but also about the administrative financial side to it. Understanding if you have the right financial partner, so the banks. So setting up all the preparatory work, I think, is quite relevant. And timing. Timing is very important. If you expect to set up your operations in a couple of months in China, you're making a big mistake. It will take probably 6 months to a year to be really ready to start invoicing or producing or selling or researching, whatever the activity may be. You need to afford yourself a decent amount of time to prepare.
So basically, what we try to advise our clients with is a piece of advice focusing on the planning, as Dario mentioned, but also what are the interests into the Chinese market. We go back to a setback approach. Basically, instead of looking for a joint venture partner, maybe you might look before for a distributor if your market is allowed to foreign goods and foreign investment. On the other side, what is true by the revolution of the retail sector with new retail and e-commerce strategies brought in by Alibaba Group and other players in the arena. So instead of trying directly with your goods on the market, you can still try with online sales and operations before you take that planning and you bring it forward with your own entity into China. What is really true is that the trade war and the scrambles that anticipate that were the first public blow for the Xi Jinping government in China. There has been a lot of misunderstanding between the heads of foreign councils operating into China and advising the political elite on those issues, mostly because they were not really in touch with the foreign community of experts and they were traveling not so much because of restrictions on their passport. So what we see is that China was not prepared for a long-term war and is now facing the consequences of the course of action. What we see is that companies are already starting to replan their own supply chain operations, something that big companies are never really eager to do because that takes a lot of planning, again, a lot of resources and a lot of structuring into other jurisdictions. I believe that all in all we should see the positive aspect of it. Probably American business are going to be more protected when they do business in China, and that will also allow foreign business in China to be more treated like equally when compared to local business over there. The other opportunities that we are facing today is the development of Asian as another trading routes whenever doing business with Asia and China, I believe.